Greeks can play quite well here. Oh, he did switch back into Poseidon in the end. Interesting. At the last moment he switched back. So we are going to be having a proper mirror. Nice to see. We have seen in the first game a mirror of Zeus's, and this time it's going to be a mirror of Poseidon's. So nicely cast tour by Hagrit. That's how I like it actually. As it doesn't, or as it means that the villages don't have to move all that much around. Whereas for the opponent, where did he cast it? Next to the TC, so that's a bit different. And of course he needs to get rid of all of those, because he doesn't want actually the lure to steal them. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's better to cast it next to Granary. Next to the reason that I stated a bit before, that he doesn't need to move with the villages all that much, which basically usually makes for faster advance into the next age. Anyway, some piggies all across the map, as he's scouting in there. It's going to be quite nice spot for him. And, well, the relic is going to be for favorical. Nothing that major, but of course, it could be helping. It could be helping in Greek wars, because you can always use a bit more extra favor for example, the fortresses. That also do cost favor, of course. So, well, nice hunt on the left with gold. Considering that this is actually not walled off, it is going to be kind of tricky for both of them if they are going to be realizing this and walling properly. It's going to be potentially important spot. A lot of giraffes and zebras in there, plenty of aurochs with even more of them, and apparently Hippo is going to be coming into top side of the map. Going to be pretty good catch for him. Looking for the opponent, he's getting even, well, he probably got this one Hippo there. It seems like that it was actually lured, and otherwise one lion, one zebra, and what other animals? Some extra zebra and piggy that's home, already his. Another zebra come in there, and it seems like it's going to be getting just basically normal animals. But it's not like it matters all that much, because the lure does have a certain amount of hit points, and it doesn't really matter which animals they are in the end. Oh yeah, still going to be staying at the same spot, as this Kataskopos is going back, probably to be scouting on the right side of the map. Where is another relic, which is for oh wow, fast infantry training time. It's actually important, because you see a lot of infantry in Greek mirrors, even with Poseidon. So yeah, that's a good relic. But very good relic indeed, as we are also looking at the gold mine that is nicely positioned, and the other gold mines on the other side of the map, where probably the trade is gonna be starting for Hagrit into this TC. And it seems like that both of them are going to be having quite ineffective trade routes. This TC to the bottom slightly better, but nothing really to victory dance about all that much. Should be fairly easier right now for Hagrid to actually wall up, as the giraffe is another one that is going to be lured for him. Putting a wall in here should be quite nice protecting himself, as he does have pretty good position of the TC, because it will be covering basically the way inside his base. That's something that is quite advantageous on watering hole, whereas for his opponent it's a bit too much in the middle. It doesn't really capture this way inside his base, so potentially that could be a way through the bottom to get into original Jester's base. But at least the gold is right next to the TC, and it does have a protection through the tree line, so in that case, that's actually not half bad for him either. So both TCs are having some pluses for them. So, what are we gonna be seeing here? In the time to come. I'm definitely looking at this water. We could be looking at docks at the bottom and going all the way to the top. Basically, both of these TCs are going to be in TC, or rather in water range. This one at the bottom, unfortunately, as well. I'm thinking it's pretty close, not sure, but could be. Could be in the range of water as well. So potentially a bit of more opportunity for Jester to be annoying, to basically deny both TCs if it actually is true. But we're gonna be seeing a bit later if that will be used by either of them. Because once one uses it, the second is going to be using it as well. We are at 4 minutes, we're going to be advancing into the next ages. Already a bit of walling coming up from original Jester, not much really from the opponent, as he's just now dropping on temple, so apparently Jester is going to be faster. And I'm kinda curious if either of them is gonna be choosing faster heroic rather than raiding. I'm kinda thinking that both are gonna raid. Bit of favor gathering apparently. Maybe for some centaurs, I'm not sure. Could be, but not entirely certain, as the relic is just right now going to be deposited for the free favor trickle. And let's look, for example, at the different builds. So hunting dogs here, not any other extra upgrades. For Hagrit, we are already looking at pickaxe. That's gonna be pretty good economy as he's gonna be moving into Hippo. And then where he's actually gonna move? He still sees plenty of hunt in the front. So probably he's gonna be moving there as well. To be moving there as well. He's just now scouting next to his opponent. And unfortunately, yeah, this Catescopus might be even dying fully. As his opponent is not paying enough attention. And oh well, he's gonna die. Isn't he? Well, oh, survives with 1 hit point. With 1 hit point, both players advancing at literally the same time through Hermes, both of them. There's of course a good power of choice in here on this map, and that's going to be stable for red and for the opponent as well. So they seem to be basically going for absolutely the same strategy right now. 5 villages on gold. For the opponent, also 5. So yeah, it's absolutely the same for both. Not any kind of difference. Not any kind of difference at all. And they will hope that basically they're gonna be playing just better than their opponents. Right now this is very nice volley from Jester, but unfortunately he probably doesn't fully realize that this is wide open on the left side, so potentially there could be an easy way inside his base. But what I don't really like is that Hagrid isn't walling himself. I'll be really liking him to basically drop a wall, at least here, if not at these parts. This basically just needs to be walled by either player. So who's going to be walling that faster is going to be probably having a bit more advantage in the game overall. And they are going for the armory, and it's going to be, yep. Really expecting the faster heroic right about now from Hagrid, even though it could still be just basically to get some extra upgrades, to have better Hippicons, in which case he could be basically overpowering the enemy army quite a bit easier. But I'm really thinking that at this stage, even though he's building the stables, he's a bit more aiming into the heroic age. He's gathering a lot of food. A lot of food indeed, and you don't really need all that much food if you are going for just Hippicons. You would be needing a ton more villages on the gold, which is not really happening. So yep, I'm right now fully confident he is heroicing, as opposed to his opponent who is having a ton of gold. You can see the difference. He's having right now 9 on gold, original Jester, whereas his opponent is having just 6. Whereas he's having a ton of food, ton of villages on food, and his opponent is having these and a few of them on the gazelles. So yeah, the difference in strategy is absolutely obvious. And unfortunately, original Jester is not even raiding, which should be basically the advantage he's getting through his strategy. And he's going to be arriving into the enemy base that is right now nicely guarded by those stables. That's basically walling a bit better than this if he's going for the faster heroic. Of course, because he's going to be funneling the enemy army next to the TC fire and potentially even the tower fire. And we are going to be expecting the heroic age, of course, from Blue Dude pretty soon. Here you can see the huge drop. He's definitely coming into the next age, whereas his opponent isn't. So Leonis is up at 744, that's nice. But of course this is quite tricky. But he definitely hopes, medium upgrades in there, or in the Hippicons, that if he is under attack on the foot, he can basically just cast ceasefire. And in the meantime, he's gonna be getting the TC for himself. Kinda thinking that would be what would happen. So, countering through the Prodromai. Definitely gonna be quite painful right about now for original Jester. This is very nicely played by Hagrid, and huge surprise for the red player. And he could be just very easily Hagrid winning on this, because this is gonna be quite significant problem for Jester. He's not going to be ready for that at all, because he doesn't have any hoplites or whatnot, not even military academies, and just the Hippicons are not going to be able to counter that at all. And archer range is not a bad idea. Actually, archer ranges and Toxots, the Toxotai, are not a bad counter unit to Prodromai, because Prodromai are having just 10% pierce armor. So, arguably, you could be even thinking that Toxots are going to be better counter unit than hoplites. So it definitely makes sense, and it's going to be all about original Jester just now, trying to run around, not doing anything significant, and trying to keep at least as many Hippicons alive as possible, which is gonna be tricky because they are slow, 550, whereas the opponents are at 6. So they are always going to be able to catch up with them and kill them one by one. So very nice play, very nice strategy and tactics right now by Hagrid, and of course he's going to be getting a significant advantage, going to be all around the map, controlling it by himself, having Hendax pickaxe in there. Opponent quite probably going to be having both as well. Yes, he is already, but at the start he didn't. Finally, he's having at least armory, so going to be trying to advance into the next age as well. But is it going to be fast enough? Well, it's going to be a bit interesting. He's getting up in the numbers in there. So this is going to be a bit of an opportunity for Hagrit to basically go for the TC as he's already coming for it. And I was kind of looking for a bit if he's maybe going to be a bit adventurous, using the advantage that he's absolutely undoubtedly having, and going for the enemy TC, which I think he could have actually afforded to do. Because of course his enemy is not ready for this, we have seen this, he has seen it as well, but he probably doesn't want to risk all that much. Right now those villies are gonna be coming for the food apparently, but they are going to be just nearby for the town center once he gets into the heroic himself. So TC going to be coming for Hagrit. That's gonna be resulting into much better economy for him, because of course he's gonna be having more villages quite a bit faster. And he's of course having his hand quite close by to it, so of course pretty big help. And this is going to be a bit different because of course Aphrodite is gonna be helping him, but not sure if it's going to be enough, because of course the bronze is going to be super powerful. Medium Prodromai already upgraded. He's going to be basically denying the army, the first army for his opponent, as he's right now trying to get rid of the wall quite successfully. But then the bronze is just a bit more durable, so I'm not really thinking that it was such a good idea to actually go for the curse. Not really convinced that it's going to be the better choice here. Not convinced at all. But we're gonna see pretty soon. It's going to be all up to original Jester how well he actually uses it. What kind of engagement he's going to be winning through that, because curse is basically engagement winning god power, and that's its strength. You need to use it correctly, into the correct placement, into correct battle, and then if it does work out for you, it definitely can turn the game around. Anyway, we are moving inside the base of red, as he's right now under attack by already heavy Prodromai, and we having still just mediums. Are we having some extra upgrades? So far apparently not, from either side. So they are quite content with the game that is so far in front of them. On the gold at the back, nicely scouted right now by Hagrit. So he basically knows where he needs to go, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the opportunity. He could be, if he actually placed a dock in here, just built a transport boat and went all around, and just deposited himself there, he could be absolutely slaughtering all those gold willies. I'm kind of waiting for Hagrid to realize this and do it, because right now we should be heading into a bit of a stalled game, because both are having the front TC, which is going to be the defensive spot, and the walling is also in place, especially for red. So blue should be having significant problems actually pushing forward and dealing any kind of significant damage to his opponent. Yeah, right now, the more the game is actually stalled, the better for original Jester, I'm thinking, because he's going to be having a bit more time to get the extra TC, get the economy going, and basically make up for the problem that he was facing in the early game. Alright, so Fortress for him, Fortress for the opponent not coming yet. That's also gonna be an interesting difference between the players. One stable, the branch range, alright. Moving forward, but yeah, he cannot really go through. The wall is still there, and there's not any kind of possibility to move there unless he gets the dock. PG so far isn't. In the meantime, this is just wall. I was for a moment thinking it might be a dock. So apparently the walling on the left hasn't been finished by either player. And well, right now moving for the gold mine by Hagrid. It's kind of interesting choice, because you mustn't forget that even though it's next to the TC, it's also in the front, and that means that it could be potentially abused. And if he's going to be under attack, he will need to retreat from this spot. So he should be probably moving with those villagers onto the right side, as we are looking at the curse. And this is apparently the engagement that original Jester is hoping that might be the important one, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because right now, already with the dock swords, those Prodromai are going to be completely useless, and even though he's trying to kill at least a few villages, this is gonna be time for Hagrid to switch into another unit, because of course his opponent is already ready for all of this, and much more importantly, he already does have the Petroboli, so the momentum is gonna be switching into the favor of original Jester, and it's going to be very hard right now for Hagrid to deal with it, because he was kinda slowish to actually react. He was maybe thinking that the Prodromai are going to be winning him the game overall, but right now with the dock swords, that's not gonna happen at all, because of course the dock swords, the Toxotai, so that's just a singular, Toxotai is actually the plural for that, are going to be absolutely shredding them. And yeah, he's moving forward, and exactly the problem with the villagers is going to be real even sooner than I potentially thought. Yeah, this is gonna be a real issue for him. So far though, it seems like that Hagrid with the 3 TCs is having slightly better economy, so he's at least holding his opponent off, even though the Metropolis and getting up in numbers, but I'm missing medium toxots. Yeah, right now we should be investing more in than just one Petropolis into the medium toxo type, because he just needs them. He just needs them to get rid of the Prodromire. Apparently not happening yet, but this double fire is going to be good enough to actually deter this army, as it's just not going to be strong enough at all. Yeah, just at least killing the efficiency on the goal. As the battle is still going, but it's not gonna be going anywhere, because Hagrit cannot go forward. He doesn't have anything that would be killing the fortress and the TC, and we're just gonna be waiting until he gets the fortress. Because before he gets the fortress, he's going to be kinda innocuous. Nothing really that major that he could be making and doing about his opponent. And this is going to be just a huge battlefield where both are going to be wasting units, wasting resources, and not achieving anything at all. Which I think is kinda short-sighted as far as both go. And especially for original Jester, because he should be realizing that this is just basically Hagrid wasting resources. He shouldn't be doing it himself. And he should be trying to do something different, like for example, move through the left side and into his economy, because Hagrid is absolutely wide open. He's absolutely wide open. I really don't understand it all that much. Why he doesn't at least place a wall here. That's like a must-have wall, and this one as well. And I'm fairly worried for Hagrid that he's going to be paying for it sooner rather than later, because it's going to be all about original Jester getting a few more Hippigons and going for some adventurous raiding, and then, yeah, well, goodbye economy. Anyway, Willie's moving forward, apparently for wood. Still not for the fortress yet. As we are going to be continuing with the battle in here. But maybe, just maybe, Hagrid is waiting for Pop Army and Bronze. Could be also the case. Definitely could be. If he can get actually Pop Army and get the Bronze, then there might be some kind of slight chance. Slight chance for him to actually push forward and even kill some buildings. But yeah, it's always gonna be very tricky, always, because you can see he's yet again lost the army and didn't achieve anything at all. Didn't achieve anything at all. In the meantime, of course, the gold gathering is so far seeming safe for both players, looking at the minimap. Still, original Jester continuing in the top corner and still going to be having available gold on the left side of the map. Same goes basically for Hagrid, still having the free gold on the right. Whereas he is right now going to be breaking down the gold mines on the left side of his map. So yeah, the gold is probably not going to be that much of a problem. Especially if they're still going to be fighting in the middle like this. Well, Hippigon's getting up in numbers to get rid of the Toxots. Toxotype, goddammit, always forgetting about it. And we are, as I said, this is just going to be the same stallish situation until we're gonna get the fortress, because I don't think that for Poseidon, the mythical units, they are not really working that well. Because of course he's having the slower favor gathering. But as a support unit, like for example 1-2 Hydras in that he could be producing realistically as the Poseidon into the battle, it could be enough. It could be enough in complement to his main army, especially with the bronze that is gonna come. Because he should be able to basically single out the 3 heroes. Shouldn't be that bad. Because quite frankly, the heroes for Poseidons are slightly weaker than for Zeus, and that's of course meaning that the mythical units are going to be surviving for a bit longer. So well, Fortress finally going to be coming up, and that could be exactly the game-changing moment that will result in Hagrid's push through all of this. In the meantime, we mustn't forget that unfortunately original Jester is still at 2 TCs for some reason. Hasn't taken 3rd yet, as he's right now having tons of idols unfortunately. Right now moving for the Hippos luckily, so not really for much longer. And well, some extra armies still coming in, but we mustn't forget that original Jester is still fighting as medium Prodromos, and considering the fact that he's still at mediums against heavy, the battles are still considerably going very well for him because of those 2 buildings, which is not really going to be true anymore. And I'm kind of thinking that once this fortress falls, it's just going to be kind of snowballing from there, and original Jester won't be able to hold this position at all, and it's just going to be moving forward for Hagrid. I'm kinda not sure why he's waiting with bronze all that much. He definitely did have opportunities to cast it with pretty good army for himself. But maybe just waiting once the fortress falls down, and then cast it and then go forward. Yeah, could be. As Jester is right now luckily getting the 3rd TC for him exactly at the crucial moment, and it could mean that still, even though this fortress is going to be coming down in some moments, It still might not be just a GG for him, and he could still be having a bit of a chance to actually come back. Still though, no upgrades on the Toxots, Toxotai, and on the Hippicons, also still mediums unfortunately, as his opponent is still having the heavies, and the Fortress is gone. Right now some Militias are gonna help, but probably nothing all that significant. Looking at some upgrades, it's going to be Copper Mail. Copper Mail, of course, with Spirited Charge. For better guys, and Artemis for Hagrit, and oh well, yeah. Goodbye TC, and not only that, goodbye also military buildings, even though it means plenty of those dudes. Plenty of militia, this is going to be easy, for example, for him through ceasefire, of course. Which is probably gonna happen, I'm thinking. Will have to happen, yes. It wasn't a bad idea by Hagrid at all, and he's at least forcing his opponent to use this very powerful god power, and he's going to be out of any options whatsoever, whereas his opponent still does have his, in case he finds himself into some kind of trouble, or in some kind of trouble. Yeah, well, there was a bit of idle time in there, nothing major though, as we are having some nice upgrades overall. For the opponent, it's going to be probably similar, right? Well, actually not. He's missing even Shaft Mine, and the second upgrade on the wood. So the economy is going to be much better for Hagrid. Well, he must also consider that he did have the extra TCs a whole lot sooner than his opponent, as he's right now trying to build all the buildings around the TC, and you should be really not building this one. You should be just putting it next to the town center, because the god power is gone. That could be killing all of it. And if you can basically make it as difficult as possible to get at the TC by the units, yeah, well, you're always going to be giving yourself a bit of an edge in the defense. These walls are actually nicely played by Hagrid, because they allow for quite a lot of tactical options for him to basically run behind the gates and whatnot. Right now we are looking at the champions, and this is the time for Bronze apparently to move forward and basically also make sure that the Petropoli are not having all that much of an engagement against them. But of course it's not going to be that easy, seems like, as the army is still producing quite fast from original Jester, as he's having the military buildings right next to it, and the Hippicon trying to get rid of this one. At least one is killed, and apparently Chimera is going to be making an appearance in the battle, and yep, she is going to be pretty strong, as Chimeras for Poseidon in the Mythical Age, that's something that happens quite often, especially in AOT, in the Titans, and it's quite deadly, especially as far as villages go with the extra special attack. Yeah, moving forward, as this stable is gonna be dying pretty soon, as it's apparently taking 2 of those stones from all the 3. Yeah, and once it's gone, it's going to be full-on attack onto the town center, and well, a few more Hippicons could be probably going for a bit more raiding somewhere, trying to find something to raid, but apparently, well, dog has been built, but nothing all that major out of it. Just one hammer ship, and we are not even getting some, well, we are getting idle, but we are not getting siege boats in there. So, not any more ceasefires right now for original Jester, so unfortunately once the TC is gone, it's probably gonna be gone for good, and it seems like that's going to be exactly happening. Doesn't have any Masons unfortunately, so goodbye TC, and with that coming down, the game is coming down as well, and it's going to be 2-1 advantage for Hagrid on his 2 home maps. So let's see what original Jester's home map is going to be, and if he's going to be able to tie, or if Hagrid is gonna be winning the match in the next game. Or if maybe it's gonna be taking him a lot longer, like the 2 games. Yeah, well, the hunt wasn't really that bad. Just the better option for the faster heroic. That definitely caught original Jester off guard, but it has to be said, he was just quite passive in the early game. He was producing Hippicons, but wasn't raiding with them for about maybe even a minute or 2. And that of course gave quite a big opportunity for Hagrid to comfortably get into the next age and just set himself up. Here you can see right now the efficiency 189 against just 126 killed. Well, that was just the tech difference in there. That was quite noticeable. Here again, you can see 24 researches, original Jester just 11. That was kind of similar in the first game, and it just does make quite a lot of difference. And spike in the economy. Alright, GG.